Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, it looks like Royal Caribbean's second sailing on the Adventure of the Seas didn't go quite as smoothly as planned. So the Adventure of the Seas, that's right, the Adventure of the Seas everybody was vlogging from last week on the inaugural sailing out of the Bahamas. Went off without a hitch. Second sailing, well, they have 2 positive cases on board. Both of those cases are people under the age of 16, and both are unvaccinated. And when they were questioned about how many people they had on board that were unvaccinated, they said 92% of our passengers have been fully vaccinated. The rest were under the age for vaccination, so 8%. Now that is below in the Bahamas. Remember, the Bahamas is different than the United States. It's sailing out of a foreign country, and Royal had set their guidelines at fully vaccinated 95%. And they sailed with 92% below that threshold. So there's some questions there. What happened was, during the cruise on the final testing day, as they were, you have to get tested in order to fly back to the United States. 2 passengers tested positive. 1 was asymptomatic. 1 was showing mild symptoms. That could be sniffles, that could be a cough, that could be a fever, it could be almost anything, right? Flu-like symptoms. So they were immediately quarantined. The family was tested, as well as any close contacts was also tested on board. Everybody else turned out negative so far. Remember, it can take 14 days to materialize. And everybody else, though, on the ship had to get their 3-day test, and they all tested negative to get off the ship. And here is where I do have some questions. It's not so much around the, we sailed with 92% instead of 95%, although there may be questions on that when you claim to be 95%, and then your second sailing you admit you're only at 92%. So when are you going to tell us when it's down to 40%, right? At what time do you tell us the numbers anymore? Or are you changing your criteria even on sailings out of different ports? Because remember, in Alaska, you have to be 95, they've said they're going to be 95% in Alaska. They've said that for the Bahamas. Are they changing their tune now? And a lot of people have been asking those questions. And the one question that I have, well, before I get to that, the question I have for you is, why haven't you hit that subscribe button? It's easy. It's right there. It's right there on every video. Click, and there it is. It's done. You don't have to do it ever again. And once again, I do have to say, it does not cost anybody anything. I do have a lot of people who keep thinking it costs money just to hit the subscribe button, and it doesn't. It just helps the channel, and it does keep you notified of any videos that are upcoming in the future. That's all it does. It doesn't hack your account. Okay, back into the question I have. I do have a question on, they said that the family disembarked in Freeport and were on their way home. How are they on their way home? If they tested positive, how are they able to fly home? I am confused by that. I don't understand how, unless they chartered a private plane to fly them there, or they took a boat home, I don't understand how this family was able, after testing positive, be able to get on a flight and fly home. Did they test negative afterwards? There's no report saying that they've retested and tested negative. All reports are they tested positive, and that was it. So now I have the question of, how did they get home? Or are they in Freeport at a hotel quarantining, and then when they test negative they will fly home? But according to reports, the family's on their way home now. So where's the quarantining period? if I was on that flight and I'm going, well, what do you mean you have 2 positive cases on the flight and you knew about them? What are you talking about? I'd be very curious to how this is allowed to happen. And there's been so far no answers coming for that question at all. I really hope they clarify that in the future. I've sent emails to Royal Caribbean and I haven't had a response yet. The only response I've got was their press report saying, yes, 2 passengers tested, they were quarantined, nobody else was tested positive, and the family's on the way home. Well, I know that. How are they on their way home? How are they able to get on a flight and fly back to the United States? Tested positive. That is my question. Is there a wrinkle there that I don't know about? Is there a loophole that I don't know about? Because I know if I'm heading to my next cruise and I get a test before I leave and it says positive, they're not letting me on that airplane. They're not even letting me at the airport. So I have complete confusion in exactly what's going on there. So yeah, that's where we are. Another case of another ship. So that's 2 now for Royal Caribbean. The Odyssey of the Sea, crew members tested positive. Adventure of the Seas, the second sailing out, tested positive. The Millennium, first sailing out, tested positive. So the big thing is, it's not an outbreak. It's not a spread. It's normal. We're learning to live with it. We're learning to live with the virus, and it's not shutting down the cruises. I just have questions on, if you do test positive, how was this family able to head back? Or are they in Freeport and they are just waiting until they test negative so they can fly home? But yeah, can you imagine being on that flight, you land and everything, and then you read this article saying, yeah, those 2 kids in the back that were kicking your seat, they have COVID. I'm just kidding. We don't know the age of the children, and of course not all children will kick seats. It's just a stereotype of kids on airplanes, and you have to look at the bright side, because if you look at the downside all the time, you'll just live miserable. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. We'll see more tips, more tricks, more travel blogs from around the world. Hit that subscribe button. Until next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.